Guys, what's up? I hope you all are doing well. Welcome to Evershine Coaching Center and Shah Sir classes. My dear friends, my dear students, and my beloved ones, the one who all are watching this video. Now I'll be going to call all the students and my colleagues, everyone are as my friends. Friends, as you all can see here, today I'm going to discuss the very important topic and the concept, and many students are awaited for this from a long period of time. Today the things what I'm discussing, seriously it is very important. Why? Because as you can see here, today I have come up with the topic social science, our past one, that is the first. This is a textbook in history for class 6 students, and this class 6 belongs to NCERT. Particularly I am making this video for the CBSE students, the one who are studying in class 6th, and also I can mention here the very most important point. This is for the students who needs the foundation course for the UPSC preparation, UPSC civil service preparation, and this is the most important part of the studies of UPSC board exams. Okay, that is civil service exams. Any student who want to crack the UPSC civil service exams in your future, particularly even for the class 6 students, do remember your class 6 to class 12 NCERT books are very important. So here, hope so, I'll be going to make the videos for all the NCERT syllabus. Okay, as you can see students, here I'll be going to cover this syllabus very fast, so that this is nothing but the foundation course. Many institutes will take this as the foundation course, but here in my channel I'm doing this for the free of cost. So let me begin without wasting much time. Why we want to study history? Why we need to study history? Here, as we can see here, this year in class 6th you will read history. It is a part of a bigger group of subjects known as social science. See children, social science is one subject, in that history is one part. Social science helps us understand the working of our social world. As you can see here, why the requirement of social science is so important. As you can see children, if you want to know how the things works, if you see the mechanism, it gives science. Science will deals with the mechanism, but social science will let us understand the complete working behind that mechanism, the story how that has built up. That is what we are going to study social science. It tells us about the geography. Again, in social science we have one more part which is called as geography, the way the economy works and the manner in which social and political life is organized. In social science, as we can see here, we are going to study about the working of the social world, and also the geography, and also the economy, and even the social and political life. This social and political life, sometimes we consider that as a polity, how the administration works. Now most parts of social science other than history tell you about the world in the present. History will help you understand how this present evolved. It will tell you about the past of the present. As many of your friends are, someone can ask you why we want to study social, what is the advantage? As you can see children, history, this is the most important part, and the point, history will help us to understand about the present and also about the past. Now we can think only when you know the past. You should know what is the past, what is the reality, what happened before. so that those ideas will help you to lead the life present as well your future. When we live in a society, we become used to the world around us, right? In whichever the society you live, definitely you also become like that, right? This is the point. As you can see, when we live in a society, you can live in any kind of a society, we become used to the world around us. We begin to take that world for granted. As how you want, you are going to operate in the same way, right? We forget that life was not always the way we see it. Can you, for instance, imagine a life without fire? Just you can see, children, as you go any place, you think that the complete area is yours. Is it so? Isn't it? No or yes? Let me study. Now imagine if there is no fire. Imagine a life without fire. Can you think of what it is to live in a society where the cultivation of crops was not unknown? If the cultivation of crops, you are not aware how to grow the crops, how to cultivate the crops, then what happens? Or what it was to live at a time when roads and railways did not exist. Now, imagine the situation where there is no roads and railways. Then what happens? And yet people traveled long distances, right? Even during some times, during those days, there was no roads and railways. But still peoples will travel from one place to another place. How? How it is possible? So history can take us into this past. So here, as you can see, as we see our past, many peoples have led their life sometimes without fire. And still they were not knowing how to cultivate the crops. But still they are alive. Without any transportation. But still they move from one place to another place. Then the question here arises, how it is possible? Is this clear? Now, history in this sense is an adventure. As you can see, children, history is in sense is an adventure. It is a journey across time and space. As the time moves, as the space grows, even the journey also continued. It transports us into another world, another age in which people live differently. As you can see, children, here, it transports us into another world, another age in which people lived differently. As you can see, as the time grows, as the people started growing, their mentality, their mental growth has also increased. And they also started living in different conditions, as per the different conditions in different way. Their economy and society, their beliefs and faiths, their clothes and food, their settlements and buildings, their arts and crafts, everything was different. करेक्ट हो चिल्ड्रंस? जैसा आप देख सकते हैं, जिस तरह से उनके बिलीफ्स, उनके फेस चेंज होते गए, उनके क्लॉथ्स भी चेंज होते गए, उनका खाना पीना की हर चीज बदलती गया, उनका सेटलमेंट्स, उनके बिल्डिंग्स, उनका क्राफ्ट, उनका आर्किटेक्चर, उनका रहना चलना, हर चीज बदलते गया. Everything was changing as the time changed. History can open the doors into such worlds. Now definitely we want to study. Is it not amazing how this was happening? You are not curious to know how our past was? How we came from that world to this world? Yes, of course. These all things, if you want to know, then history is the one who tells us each and everything. You may shrug your shoulders and say, why should we bother about past that are no longer with us? Past that have gone by. I'm right, children? क्यों हमारे को पुराना देखना है? आज हम जो हैं, हमें उसे देखना है. क्यों पुराना देखकर टाइम वेस्ट करें? Usually some people may think like this, right? Why we want to think about the past? Now today what we want, let me focus on that. As we don't have that much time to study all those things or to listen those all things. Is it so? Next. But history is not just about the past. It is about the present. Remember this point. History is not just about the past. It is about the present. The society we live in has been fashioned by those who came before us. The joys and sorrows of their daily lives, their attempt to grapple with the problems of their time, their discoveries, their inventions slowly transformed human societies. As you can see, children, as the time grows, even peoples also started enjoying their life, and they started discovering, they started inventing many things, right? Excuse me. As जैसा जैसा वक्त चलता गया, आगे बढ़ता गया, तो हर चीज में बदलाव आना शुरू हो गया. हर जगह पे आप देख सकते हैं कि बहुत सारे बदलाव आते चले गए, right? These changes were often so gradual, so seemingly small, that their impact was not noticed by people at the time. The things what they are discovering, they was not aware these things the other day what they are going to do. They were not understanding what is happening. Just they started enjoying with the things whatever they are discovering or how they are leading their life. Only later, when we return to the past, when we study history, can we begin to see how these changes happened, and we can observe their long-term effect. By reading history, we can understand how the modern world has emerged over long centuries of development. As we can see, children, as you go to the past, and if you start seeing what happened earlier, and the things how it randomly changed, these all things, how these all effects has taken place, these all things we are going to study in this part. ओके, बस हमारे को बस यही चीज देखना है कि पहले क्या हुआ था, किस तरह से आदमी लोग जी रहे थे, राइट? हाउ द पीपल्स वर लिविंग, व्हाट वाज द ट्रेंड, व्हाट वाज द ट्रेंड ड्यूरिंग द टाइम, how the living conditions, how the geographical nature, how their settlements was there. These all things we are going to study. The book that you will study this year will take you back to our ancient past. Now, as we can see, now we are going to start our journey as ancient, medieval, and modern. The past history we are going to consider that as ancient, and the mid-range we call it as a medieval history, and then we come to modern. Again in modern, pre and post. Anyhow, we are going to study all those things step by step. Over the next 2 years, you will continue your journey through the history of subsequent periods. In this book, you will read not just about the kings and queens who lived in ancient India and about their conquest and policies. See, children, what we are going to study in this book, not only about the kings and queens and also who lived in ancient India during the early past, okay? So how the peoples lived, that we are going to study, and also their conquest and policies. What were their rules and regulations? How they started following and how they started managing, everything we are going to study. You will learn about hunters and peasants, craftspeople and traders. You will see how fire came to be used and iron tools were discovered. As children, this is very important topic for the examination point of view. You should not forget this point. How fire was invented, how the tools they started discovering, and what are the advantage of these tools, why they started using tools. So these all things we are going to discover, these all things we are going to learn in this chapter. It's not amazing? Yes, of course, right? कैसा फायर, किस तरह से आग बनाया गया, किस तरह आग को यूज करना सीखे वो लोग, क्यों टूल्स को यूज करने लगे, किस किस तरह के टूल्स को वो यूज करते गए. Those all things we are going to study. How wheat and rice began to be cultivated and villages and towns developed. You will read about pilgrims, right? Usually you used to go, right? Yeah. Pilgrims and saints, buildings and paintings, religions and beliefs. You will find out that history is not only about great men, it is also about the lives and activities of ordinary women, men, and children. As you can see, children, history is not only about the great men or who was ruled, who killed to whom, who conquered. These all things. That is not at all the history. History. Still many things are there, children. Okay. As you can see, history will tell us about the lives of activities of ordinary women, men, and children. How they were. History is not only about the political events, it is about everything that happens in society. History is nothing but only, not about only political events. कौन राजा था, कौन रानी थी, किसके ऊपर वो जंग लड़े, on whom they just fought against. Okay, that is not all about the history. Still, history will tell us about what happened, past and present. Everything is going to be disclosed here. The book will also help you to understand how historians come to know about the past. In this book, we are going to understand even how historians, means the people who started finding the history, those are historians, come to know about the past, how they got to know what happened earlier. That we are going to study here. Somewhat like detectives, historians follow clues and traces left by people. Okay, those are nothing but we call it as the remains. Okay, historians started collecting the clues and remains, the things which are left by the people who lived in the past. Everything that survives from earlier times: stone tools, traces of plants, bones, written material and pictures, ornaments and implements, inscriptions and coins, buildings and sculptures, pots and pans, can tell us something about the past. See children, उस जमाने में कुछ चीजें ऐसे थे कि वो यूज किए थे, आज उनके रिमेन्स बाकी हैं. आज थोड़े थोड़े वो चीजें जो भी इस्तेमाल किए थे, जो भी रखे गए थे, उन चीजों को लेकर हिस्टोरियंस ने क्या किए, वो आइडेंटिफाई करना शुरू किए एज ए डिटेक्टिव्स. ओके, तो एज ए सीएडीज वी से, राइट, या इसी तरह से ये भी पहचानने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं और करते गए, और बहुत सी चीज ऑलरेडी प्रूव हो चुकी है कि ये चीज किस जमाने की थी, उस टाइम पे लोग किस तरह से थे. एवरीथिंग वी आर गोइंग टू स्टडी. ओके, so its historians and archaeologists study these sources and try and understand them. In this book we will see many of these sources and find out how historians study this. So archaeologists और historians इन दोनों मिलकर बहुत सी चीजों को आइडेंटिफाई किए, और आज हम उन चीजों से बहुत चीजें सीखने के लिए मिल रहे हैं. Okay, but studying history can help us understand more than the past. So see children, this is the advantage of studying history. You are going to understand more than the past. It enables us to develop important skills and qualities. If you want to develop your personality, then remember children, history is must. You must have to learn history. The personality development, we say that personality development, or also we say that someone like what is their IQ level we want to know, or we also say that someone is psychiatrist. Okay, these all things definitely social science, some or the other way it will be very much helpful to identify about the person's skills. When we try and enter another world, we have to learn how to do this to understand people who lives were different. As we do this, we open up our minds and break out of our small present day worlds. We begin to see how other people may think and act. This can become a learning experience that enriches us in many different ways. As you start studying these things, definitely your minds will get open up and you will be seeing the reality about of the world. Okay, so definitely children, you will be enjoying a lot while you're studying this history. So before you shrunk your shoulders, ask yourself one question: do I want to know who I am? Of course, why not? You don't want to know who you are? How were you before? Sir, I have just born like 10 years or 12 years or 20 years before. No, but still you should know, right? How were your ancestors at least? Right? Yes. If you want to know about who you are, how you were, like you means maybe your parents or your ancestors, whoever may concern. Do I want to understand how this society works? Of course, this is very important. How our society works, we want to know. Do I want to understand the world in which I live? Yes, definitely. If you want to rule something, if you want to become a great leader in your future, okay, then definitely you want to understand about the world where we are living. If you do, then you will need to know how our societies have evolved. Now, children, without knowing anything, we cannot tell anything to anyone. Am I right? First, you should know what happened. Then only you can give the feedback, or else then only you can give the result. Until unless you doesn't know what happened, then how can you give the judgment? Am right? Here also similar thing is going to come into the picture. Okay, first we want to understand how our societies evolved, and then definitely it will give you the shape to understand your present as well your future. So this is a basic thing about the introduction of history. Okay, now in class 6 we are going to study these number of chapters. As you can see here, first, number 1, what, where, how and when. This is the first chapter what we are going to study, but here we are going to complete this as a quick revision, and definitely just in a short period of time, even the class 6th, the CBSE students can complete your social science history in a very easiest way and very enjoying way, so and so. The first chapter is what, where, how and when. Number 2, from hunting, gathering to growing food. Okay. Number 3, in the earliest cities. Number 4, what books and burials tells us. Number 5, kingdoms, kings and early republic. Number 6, new questions and ideas. Number 7, Ashoka the emperor who gave up war. Number 8, vital villages, thriving towns. Number 9, traders, kings and pilgrims. Number 10, new empires and kingdoms. Number 11, building, paintings and books. So these are the total 11 chapters what do we have in history. As you can see, the pages are very short and the information is very lengthy and very good. Okay, in short pages they have given the n number of information, which is definitely helps you out. It will give you the shape how you want to be. If you want to become a leader in your future, then definitely these things will help us to understand the reality of the life. So from page number 1 till page number 114, this is the entire information of class 6. So I hope this is the introduction video of class 6th syllabus. In my next session, I am going to come back with chapter 1. Thank you. Keep watching to my YouTube channel, Shah Sir Classes. Still, if you are not subscribed, do subscribe it. Share this video as much as possible. If you have liked our class and the concept what we have brought to help all the class 6 CBSE students and also the students who are appearing for any competitive level exam and also for the UPSC exam. Thank you so much to be the part of this channel. Take care. Wish you all the best of luck. Comment below how was this class and what video you want to make me next. Take care.